All right, so in the UFC Fight Night main event on June 26th, it was Alexander Volkov and Ciryl Gane. They went all 5 rounds, and Ciryl Gane put on a very impressive performance. I mean, he still did not show very much finishing power on the feet. He did finish Junior Dos Santos on the feet, but that was in the later stages of Junior Dos Santos's career for sure. I think that was actually his last UFC fight, even. So that shows you where Junior was at in his career at that time. But he had nice wins over Rosenstruik and now Volkov, but he really did not show that much punching power. He has a submission by heel hook, so evidently if he gets the fight to the ground, he has finishes there. Maybe he should look to do that more, but no, really his striking was great. A stick and move, super tricky, super technical, amazing use of feints, amazing reaction time. Just he had such a speed advantage over Volkov in this fight that Volkov could just not get over, and ultimately that's what made the biggest difference. But also he just had a technical advantage on the feet. He just had a technical advantage on the feet, and Volkov could really not get going. He was almost gun shy. He only felt safe throwing punches when Ciryl was throwing. So very impressive stuff from Ciryl Gane. I don't think he's going to be able to get a title shot next because you got Stipe waiting too. There's a lot of guys waiting. Other fights are going to happen in the meanwhile that are going to be more impressive than this one. So maybe he can fight in another top contender will come up in a short amount of time that he can fight next. But that was a very impressive performance from Ciryl Gane. And really, that's the performance that shows that he really is in the top caliber of heavyweights. Because before this, even though he had a very nice win over Rosenstruik, it wasn't, it didn't show, okay, can he handle a big, tall guy who, even though Rosenstruik is tough to handle, but Rosenstruik didn't really let his hands fly in that one. But Volkov didn't let his hands fly too much in this one either, which shows that maybe those two were a little gun shy because of Ciryl Gane. After doing it twice to 2 different top 5 heavyweights, I mean that's a tough thing to do. And Ciryl has definitely proved that he is in the upper echelon of the heavyweights. Would he beat Stipe Miocic? I think he definitely potentially could. Would he beat Francis Ngannou? That I'm not too sure. That I am not too sure. I think the power discrepancy will be too massive. But I think other than Francis Ngannou, he can probably beat any heavyweight in the world. And that's saying a lot because there's a lot of great heavyweights right now. Curtis Blades could possibly give him trouble with his offensive wrestling, or maybe even a guy like Derek Lewis for the same reason as Francis Ngannou, just a large power discrepancy. But I would take Ciryl Gane to beat Derek Lewis and probably even Curtis Blades. But what's next for Volkov? Well, he'll probably get another contender, maybe the loser of Blades and Rosenstruik or something like that. And, as far as the rest of this card goes, there was not that much action in the rankings. These were a lot of guys who are just shy of the rankings, and a lot of guys that good big MMA fans are aware of. So these were a lot of fights that I was looking forward to, but none of these guys were ranked at all. So I was watching with my girlfriend, and that's what she noted, that none of them were ranked. I didn't even know that, but they were all great fighters, and some potential, or at least a couple potential prospects in there. So the co-main event was Ovince St Preux and Tanner Boser. And I was picking OSP to win this one, but Tanner Boser KO'd him. Big shot, hurt him. Yeah, not too much else to say on that. Impressive performance from Tanner Boser, but OSP getting finished in that one. And then this is the fight that the fight before this was the fight that showed a couple of prospects that could potentially challenge for a title eventually. I mean, Raoni Barcelos was 5-0 in the UFC on like a 9-fight win streak. I was very surprised he wasn't already fighting a ranked opponent, but he was fighting another prospect, Timur Valiev, who is 3-0 in the UFC, I believe, in 3 different weight classes. He fought the 3 fights in 3 different weight classes or something like that. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard. And Valiev with a nice win. He got badly hurt at the end of the second round. I mean, Barcelos was, inches away from finishing Valiev. But on the stool in between the rounds, Valiev recovered and looked the same as he did in round 1 and won 2 rounds to 1 on all judges' scorecards. So very impressive stuff from Valiev. He really showed that durability and, just that heart. So, he showed he's 18-2 is his record. He showed that he can definitely, he's got the heart to compete in there, Andre Fili and Daniel Pineda was another fight that I was very much looking forward to, and it was great while it lasted. Unfortunately, Andre Fili eye-poked Daniel Pineda, I believe, midway through the second round, or at the start of the second round, and the fight was, Daniel Pineda could not see. The fight had to be stopped, and man, Fili looked great in there. I mean, Fili was looking fantastic in there. So it sucks for him. Sucks for both of them. Pineda didn't want to get eye poked either. He kept on telling the doctor he wanted to continue, but the doctor would not let him continue because he could not see how many fingers he was holding up when they closed his other eye. So, yeah, Andre Fili, it was a no contest, but Andre Fili looked great in there. I hope they give him a ranked opponent next. And then the fight before that was Tim Means and Nicolas Dalby. Another fight kind of similar to Barcelos and Valiev, where Tim Means has a nice first round, and then I believe it was the second round or maybe the end of the first round, but at the end of one of these rounds, no, it was the end of the third round. This was kind of reminiscent of Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards, I believe. So Tim Means has been winning most of the fight, and Nicolas Dalby hurts him bad in the third round, I believe, and Tim Means was able to hold on until the bell and win a unanimous decision with a nice, impressive performance. He did great. And then the fight to kick off the fight night was Renato Moicano versus Jai Herbert. So I believe this was Jai Herbert's UFC debut. He's has MMA fights, obviously, but known as more of a striker, and you could tell because, man, it did not take much to mount this guy, Renato Moicano, just going into his full mount as he pleased, and ended up submitting him with a rear naked choke, I believe, but that was after just beating the crap out of him, and then, making him pretty much want to quit, And then Jai Herbert just gave him his neck and said, please let me get out of here. I don't blame him because, man, he was being full mounted pretty much the whole fight, and Moicano was just beating him up in the face. So, impressive stuff from Moicano, but Jai Herbert just really needs to work on his ground game a little bit more, because these guys in the UFC, man, they are going to utilize that if you don't know how to defend it, So that was the main card, and then as far as the prelims, there was not too much on the prelims. There was Kennedy Nzechukwu and Danilo Marques. Nzechukwu with the third round KO after probably he had Marques on his back for like the whole first and part of the second round in a fully locked body triangle. So Marques was winning those rounds, potentially even a 10-8 round, should have been. And Nzechukwu in the third round, just at the end of the second round, was able to hurt Marques, and then in the third round just came out and put it on him. all boxing, no kicks, no nothing. Just came out, not even no body shots, just all boxing to the head and lit him up. His hands were fast, like little pistons, and they just, yeah, not little pistons, big pistons. And yeah, they knocked him out. And another fight I forgot to mention, Shavkat Rakmonov, and he fought Michel Prazeres. Brazilian guy, hasn't fought for a couple years, but he's 24-3 going into this fight. Rakhmonov is a Kazakhstani guy who's 13-0 going into this fight. Now 14-0 after getting the win by a rear naked choke, I believe. And same kind of thing, I think. I think he was beating up Prazeres pretty bad, and then by the time he got the choke, Prazeres wanted out of there anyway. Not that he'd be able to stay much longer. But yeah, Rakhmonov, the first guy to finish this dude Prazeres, and yeah, looking very impressive doing it. The first round was a little slow, seemed like maybe he was trying to figure him out or something, but yeah, by the time the second round came around, man, he was looking for the finish and he got it. Very impressive stuff from Rakhmonov, and he's definitely one of the top prospects in the UFC right now. I mean, that guy is looking unbelievable. So yeah, I think that that'll pretty much cover what I'll talk about in this video. All the other fights were not too outstanding to me. So if you guys like this video, leave a like, subscribe for more videos like this one, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And thank you very much for watching.